Hello, Elly here from Thankful Flow Yoga. Welcome to this all levels wake up morning flow. So whether you are doing this in the morning or another time of day, this is a really good flow to just wake up the whole body. So we're bringing kind of energy and aliveness into the body, getting things moving, but also kind of really grounding ourselves into our day, finding that mind-body connection as well throughout. So we are going to come and start in a seated position and really grab any blocks or props that you might like to use in your practice. You can always have a block under the hips here when you come into seated, so that we can start with a kind of neutral spine. Hands can rest on the knees or the thighs with the palms facing down, and then close down your eyes or soften your gaze. And allow the shoulders to soften, allow the shoulders to soften and let the shoulder blades run down your back. Perhaps imagining any tightness or tension starting to melt away from the face and the jaw. And finding your breath. Where can you feel your breath within your body? There's no right or wrong. You can't get anything in this practice wrong. Just listening to your body, adapting things for your body where needed, and trusting your body, trusting your breath. Our body and our nervous system is so intelligent. It's constantly scanning the room, the environment, and it just wants to feel safe. When we're in that place of safety, we can really let go and let tension start to really melt away. We can make new pathways in the brain. We can move in different ways that we maybe never thought were possible. It's really incredible what our body and our mind, what we can do. We're going to come into our 3-6 breaths. So we're going to breathe in for 3 and we're going to breathe out for 6. So elongating our exhales. If at any time the breath doesn't feel right or good for you, just come back to your natural breathing. You don't need to force anything here. So on the inhale, breathing in for 1, 2, 3. Exhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3. Exhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3. Exhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3. Exhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3. Exhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3. Exhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Coming back to your natural breath. And keeping the eyes closed or the gaze soft, just bring the hands to the neck and the shoulders. Start to gently give yourself a little bit of a massage here. Massaging this kind of neck and even the throat area and up, just coming underneath the jaw to the back of the ears. This is really good for vagus nerve. It's good for our stress management, for regulation. Just massaging into this area. Well done. And relaxing the arms and the hands, bringing them down to the knees or the thighs again, and opening the eyes up if you had them closed. On your next inhale, roll the shoulders back, create space across your chest. As you exhale, round the spine, drop the chin down towards the chest. Imagine the pelvis drawing up and in towards the body. So as you inhale, shine the heart forwards. Then as you exhale, round through the spine. So keep moving between these seated cat and cow movements with your breath. And see if you can start to move into the side body as well. So seeing if you can imagine that you're perhaps sitting in a bubble. You're trying to touch the back of the bubble, the side, the front. Really moving from the waist, so try and keep the sitting bones as grounded as you can. That's your foundations, your stability. Starting to move from the waist. Maybe coming back in the opposite direction as well, noticing how that feels. Noticing what sensations you can feel, any areas of resistance. I'm not judging anything here, just observing. Well done. Coming back to center. Then place the soles of your feet down on the mat a little bit further than hip width apart, so legs are bent. So you can either do this without the hands, or you can use the hands on the ground to support. So we're going to shift the knees over to the right. So both legs are at roughly a 90-degree angle, so we're getting a stretch into the hips. And then walk your hands over to the right as well, so twisting. Finding a little twist here. Either stay on the hands, or you could come down to the forearms. See how that feels. Whichever option you've gone for, you can drop the head down. Notice whether that changes the feeling of the stretch. Well done. Lifting back up, making your way back over to the other side. Find your twist. So this time twisting to the left. Maybe you come down on the forearms. Maybe you come down onto one forearm. You don't have to come down onto both. Finding a twist here. Maybe dropping and relaxing the head. Just waking up the hips, the spine. And coming back through to center. Nice, well done. So float into a tabletop position now. So your all fours position. Take any cushioning you need underneath the knees if your knees are quite sensitive. And we're going to reach this right leg out behind, lifting it away from the ground. Option to either stay here, or you're going to lift the left fingertips away. So reaching forwards with your left fingertips, imagine pressing back with the right foot. Take an inhale here, and then on your exhale, see how it feels to draw the left elbow towards the right knee. Really press the mat away with that right hand, rounding the spine. And then reach the arm and the leg back out. Either hold here, or this left hand can come behind and you can bend in the right leg. Maybe you catch that right foot and find a half bow pose here. This isn't going to feel right for everyone. So really feel into where you need to be. Heart shining forwards if you're in your bow. Releasing with control, coming back to all fours. Take a deep breath here. Reaching your left leg out behind this time, hovering it away from the ground. Reaching the right fingertips out in front. So reach forwards with the right fingertips, reach back with the left foot. Inhale here. As you exhale, draw the elbow to the knee. Round the spine. Reach back out, holding here. Option to bend the leg and let that right hand catch the left foot. Shine the heart forwards. Breathing here. Pressing the ground away with that left hand. Releasing from your half bow. And come back into all fours. Well done. Exhale, sit the hips back towards the heels. Find a child's pose. Melt your forehead down towards the mat. Soften the gaze or close the eyes. Find some softness. Imagine breathing into the back of the body and the sides. A sense of the body expanding as you inhale. Imagine the rib cage expanding as you breathe in and contracting back in as you breathe out. So those lovely deep breaths, really using the diaphragm as we breathe. Again, this helps us to connect with our nervous system, working towards coming back to that place of balance overall. Taking one more of those deep breaths here. Deep breath in and really emptying out all of that breath on your exhale. Opening the eyes back up, lifting the hips away from the heels, tuck the toes under. And we'll walk the feet in towards the hands, find a forward fold, bend into the legs as much as you need to. Take a couple of yes and no's with the head, so nodding, shaking. You could imagine with the head tracing a figure 8 on your mat underneath, so with the crown of the head, imagine tracing a figure 8. So ironing out any of those little areas in the neck and the shoulders where there could be a bit of tightness or tension. And then bringing the hands to the elbows, really hanging down. Shifting some weight into the balls of the feet. Imagine breathing into the backs of your legs. Start to release the hands from the elbows. Take an inhale, roll and peel the body up with a rounded spine. Just taking your time to come up. Imagine peeling up one vertebrae at a time, lifting the head up last of all. Take a big shoulder roll once you're there. Let the shoulder blades run down your back. A, our sun salutation. Inhale, reach the fingertips up, lifting the ribs away from the hips. Exhale, fold forwards, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift your chest, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, hands float down to the mat, step back to plank. Pause here, strong inner line of energy. Imagine pressing the ground away with your hands, drawing the rib cage in, maybe tucking the tailbone in. Flow through your vinyasa, so either on your inhale, you could be taking an upward facing dog, or you could find a cobra. And then on the exhale, come back to downward facing dog. Take your version. Adapt the sequence to something that is going to serve you and your body in your practice. Doesn't need to be the same as anybody else. Just lifting the hips up towards the ceiling in your downward facing dog. On your next inhale, we'll lift the right leg away from the mat. So finding your version of a 3-legged dog. You can open the hips or you can have the hips closed. And then draw this right knee in towards the nose. And step the right foot through to between the hands. Reach the fingertips up, so we're in our right side lunge. Bring your hands to your elbows. Imagine the heart lifting. Space across the chest. Back leg can have a softness in it, doesn't have to be completely straight. Start to open your arms out, and we're going to open out to warrior 2, right side. So side of the left foot's roughly in line with the side of your mat. Send your gaze over your right fingertips, relax your shoulders. Lengthen into your front right leg. And as you inhale, reach forwards with the right fingertips, so towards your front wall. And then imagine tipping from your waist as the right hand comes down, left fingertips reach up. So in your Trikonasana, it is better to stay higher up and maintain that space across your chest than to be coming lower but having to kind of round into the spine. So this right hand could come to a block as well as a nice option here. Finding your breath. Beautiful. Inhale, lift the chest. Make your way back up. You can find some softness into that right leg again. And then we're going to ground into this right leg. We're going to find this quad stretch here. So if you're kind of new to working with balance or you want to use a wall to support you, absolutely can. Option to reach the right fingertips up. Think about pressing the hips forwards here. So breathing. And then seeing if you can transition, maybe without letting that left foot touch the ground, open your left knee out to the side and find your tree. So bringing the foot to the calf, the thigh, or maybe the toes connect to the ground, coming into your tree pose. Option to grow your tree tall and reach the fingertips up. Maybe opening your branches out to the side. Well done, and then float your hands back through to heart center. Bring that left knee in, take a big step back, float your hands down to the mat, come back to plank. Float through your vinyasa, inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhaling back to your downward facing dog. Option for a child's pose here. Child's pose is always there if you need it. So just come to child's pose. Come to child's pose if that's what your body's calling for. Then option to inhale, sweep that left leg up, find your three-leg dog. And draw your left knee in towards the nose. Step the left foot through between the hands, reach the fingertips up, find your high lunge. Hands can come to the elbows here, opening across the chest. Think about lifting the heart upwards. Each time you inhale, creating space, lifting up and out from the pelvis. And then opening the arms out to the side, pivot out into your left side, warrior one, warrior two. And then lengthen into your front leg. Inhale, reach forwards with the fingertips. So there's this real sense of shifting forwards first, then tipping from the waist as the left hand comes down, right fingertips reach up. So you can always stay much higher up here. You could bring the hands into the hips and be working here and just really focusing on that space across your chest. Be where you need to be in your pose. One more breath here. Then inhale, lift the chest, float back up. You can bring a little bit of softness into that left leg. Add in any extra steps that you need to here. And we're going to bring this right leg in and take your right hand to the right foot. So finding our quad stretch on the other side. Reaching the left fingertips up, pressing the hips forwards. Breathing. Use the wall if you need to for support. And seeing if you can release your right foot, maybe without it touching the ground, and find your tree pose. Option to grow your tree tall, reaching the fingertips up. Maybe opening your branches out to the side. Just embracing any wobbles, shakes. All part of the practice, all a very, very valid part of the practice, a needed part of the practice. Just coming in and out as much as you need to. And then floating the hands back through to heart center. Take a big step back, hands come back down, find your way to plank position. Take another version of chaturanga, inhaling upward facing dog or cobra. And exhaling back to downward facing dog. Option for a child's pose here if that's what you're feeling for. Hips lifting up towards the ceiling. On your inhale, look between your hands, drop your knees down so you're back in all fours. Grounding into your right hand, you're going to start to thread your left arm underneath the right and lower the left side of your head down to the mat, so we're finding thread the needle. So you can always have blocks or props underneath the head here to bring you up a little bit higher, so don't force anything, be mindful of the head and the neck. So option here, just an option, is to bring the hands into prayer position, so palms of the hands are coming together. Again, really notice what feels right in your body. And you can see how it feels to press the palms of the hands into each other. Maybe feeling a little bit more sensation in the twist as you do this. Option to maybe lift your right leg away from the ground and lengthen. So anyone who is wanting to have a bit of playtime, add a little bit of spice into their practice this morning. If you're rolling onto your back here, no worries, we've all been there when attempting this one. Seeing if you can bring your right leg back in with control. Nice. Unraveling. So really important, press your right hand into the ground as you unravel back to center. Take a deep breath here. We'll come on to the other side, so thread your right arm underneath the left, let the right side of the head come down to your mat. An option to work here, or you can take the palms of the hands together. So maybe increasing that feeling of the twist. And then just an option, lifting the left leg away, reaching it back. Finding that balancing point, connecting with that strong inner line of energy through the body. Bring the left leg back in if you've taken it away. Release the hands, press the left hand into the ground and unravel, coming back to all fours. Keeping the hips stacked above the knees. As you exhale, this time we're going to walk both hands out in front and find Anamahasana, puppy pose, melting the heart down towards the mat. Option to be on your forearms here for a little bit more support. Breathing here. Breathe into the back, the shoulders, the chest. Imagine as you inhale, drawing in nourishing energy, filling the body up with that energy. Nourishing every muscle, every bone, every piece of tissue, every cell, everything back to its original form. Well-being, balance. One more breath here. And on your inhale, walking the hands back in. And just make your way to your seated position on your mat. Take one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. Close the eyes or soften the gaze. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Imagine the rib cage, the belly expanding with your breath. And then as you exhale, seeing if you can empty out every last bit of that breath without forcing. And again, inhale, imagine expanding the body with that inhale. And contracting back in with the exhale. And this time, inhale, drawing in that nourishing energy into the body. And breathing out anything that's not needed, emptying that out on your exhale. Noticing the connection between your hands and your body, maybe even your skin. Noticing where you can feel your breath. Noticing any sensations. Noticing your energy. We'll start to come back into your space. So releasing the hands, opening the eyes back up when you're ready. Thank you so much for joining me for this all levels morning practice. I hope that helped you to get your energy moving, bring some aliveness into the body with that movement and the breath. And do feedback to me and comment on how you've got on. Thank you so much for supporting these videos. They're a completely free yoga resource, so yeah, do subscribe to the channel. That's completely free, and link below to my online membership that I offer, where you get kind of longer practices and kind of meditations and things like that on there, and you're part of a community with me. So do check that out if that's of interest, and I can't wait to see you again for another flow very soon. Take care. Bye bye.